Hello everyone, Bear here, and today we're going to be going over all of the new sets that are coming out with the Markarth DLC, so let's hop right into it. So let's start out with the Overland sets. This first one is called Voidcaller. It is the light armor set. 2-piece adds 1206 maximum health. 3-piece adds 1096 maximum magic. The 4-piece adds 129 spell damage. And the 5-piece is when you take damage, your spell damage is increased by 24 points for 5 seconds, stacking up to 20 times. This effect can occur once every half second. Upon reaching 20 stacks, the duration is doubled but can no longer be refreshed. So when this set is fully maxed out, you're going to be getting 480 spell damage, which is pretty good. I really like this set. I'll probably be using this on a few of my Magicka PvP dudes. The next Overland set we got is called Witch Knight's Defiance. It is a medium armor set. The 2, 3, and 4-piece all add 129 weapon damage, and the 5-piece increases your weapon damage by 369 against poisoned enemies. I've got to say, I like this one too. I could totally see people running this in PvP. You hit somebody with a poison injection, and then you get all of this extra upfront damage to them, and it's just a really good, just buffs your damage a ton, and I really like that. The next set is the heavy armor set called Radiant Bastion. 2-piece adds 1206 maximum health, 3-piece adds 129 weapon damage, 4-piece adds 1206 health again, and the 5-piece deal 10% of all direct damage done to you back to your attacker up to 4,250 damage. Now, I know there is a set like this that is already in the game that I don't remember the name of. I just know that it comes from Imperial City. And basically, not many people use that set. It's a very niche set. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say this Radiant Bastion set is also going to be kind of niche. You'll probably run into a few tanks using it. But honestly, I wouldn't be too worried about seeing a ton of people running Radiant Bastion, just because it's not that great overall. It's very niche. On to the crafted sets, we have Red Eagle's Fury. 2-piece adds 129 weapon and spell damage, 3-piece adds 833 critical chance. The 4-piece adds 129 weapon and spell damage again, and the 5-piece adds 469 weapon and spell damage to your weapon skill abilities, increases the cost of your non-weapon skill abilities by 5%. So this is basically just New Moon Alkalite, right? It's New Moon Alkalite. That's not very interesting. We've already seen this set, basically. But the damage is nice, I guess, but this set already exists. It's called New Moon Alkalite. The next crafted set we have here is called Ethereal Ascension. 2-piece adds 1487 armor, 3-piece adds 1206 maximum health, the 4-piece adds 1487 armor again, and the 5-piece adds 7377 armor, but it increases the cost of block, sprint, dodge, break free by 25%. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. No amount of armor in the game is worth having all of those skills cost 25% more. I think not. Nope, throw it in the trash. Lower the cost down to 5%, and then maybe you'll have people running it as a really good armor set. But as it currently stands, 25% increase to all of those things is just not worth it. The final crafted set we have here is called Legacy of Karth. 2-piece adds 833 critical chance, 3-piece adds 129 weapon and spell damage, 4-piece adds 1487 offensive penetration. The 5-piece, enemies affected by your alchemical poison take 1973 disease damage every 1 second. I guess this would be really good if you're fighting werewolves, but I imagine no one's going to really be running Legacy of Karth. I gotta say, a lot of these crafted sets just are kind of uninspired, really. Kind of disappointed. So now we are off to the part that everybody is the most interested in, and that is the arena weapons. The first one we have here is called Frenzied Momentum. This augments the momentum skill in the two-handed tree. Adds 877 maximum stamina. This is for the perfected one only. And then while momentum is active, casting a stamina ability generates a stack of frenzied momentum for 10 seconds, up to 5 times. Upon reaching the max stacks, your next heavy attack will consume all of the stacks and release a violent explosion of energy. around your target, dealing 9,000 physical damage to them and all enemies within 8 meters of them. So this is just my personal opinion, but I think this is stupid garbage that no one will ever use. People do heavy attacks in this game, yes, but I just don't see the point in buffing. They're basically going in a roundabout way of just making heavy attacks do more damage, and I think it's dumb. The next set is called Void Bash. This augments the Power Bash ability in the Sword and Shield skill tree. The perfected version adds 965 maximum health, but when you deal damage with Power Bash, you apply the Call of the Void to yourself for 2 seconds. Enemies within 12 meters are immediately pulled to you. After Call of the Void ends, you apply Major Maim to enemies in the area for 10 seconds. I imagine we won't be seeing a ton of people using this, but honestly, it's a cool little thing, and it gives you Major Maim to any enemies pulled in, so that is pretty cool. Also, it doesn't have a limit on how many enemies that can be pulled in, so if you're in Cyrodiil and like fighting a really big group, can you just pull like 25 people in at once? Is that a thing you can do? I don't know, probably not. But it does seem like a pretty cool set. Maybe, not the best set ever, but if you like using Power Bash a lot, this one's actually pretty cool. So, Executioner's Blade augments the Hidden Blade ability in the Dual Wield skill tree. The 2-piece for the perfected version adds 666 weapon critical, and then the Hidden Blade deals 200% more damage to targets under 25% health when you are standing behind them. The only problem I see with this is that it is so oddly specific, like you have to be behind them, which when you're moving around with other players, and you're in PvP and everybody's moving, you can't always be hitting someone in the back. It's just not very reliable. This set reminds me of the flanking set, where basically no one's really going to use it because you can't reliably hit people in the back. But I do wonder, if you have this on and then you're using all bloodthirsty jewelry, if you could see someone who's at 25% health and you could just one-hit kill them, which I think that would be really funny. Next up, we have Point Blank Snipe. This augments the snipe ability in the bow tree. The perfected version adds 103 weapon damage, so it increases your damage done with snipe by 33% against targets that are within 7 meters of you. So if you thought snipe was incredibly annoying in Cyrodiil, just wait until people get their hands on this set, because it's going to be even more annoying. People can just walk up behind you when you're on siege and just snipe you in the back of the head at point blank range. And then for the final two, we have Wrath of Elements. This augments the Weakness to Elements skill in the Destruction Staff. 2-piece adds 1,190 spell penetration, perfected only, and then casting Weakness to Elements on a target within 15 meters of you causes a surge of elemental energy to tether between you two for 10 seconds. While the tether persists and you remain in range, enemies touching the tether take 2,140 flame, shock, or frost damage every 1 second. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Phew! Man, that was a lot of words. I don't do words so good sometimes, I swear. But basically, they're just trying to make weakness to elements basically do damage in a way, and I guess they're just trying to get more people to use weakness to elements, which is cool with me, but who knows, maybe it'll be awesome. I actually do really like using the Weakness to Elements ability, but I don't know if it's good enough to replace the Maelstrom staves or the Dragonstar Arena staves. We'll just have to see. And finally, we have Force Overflow. This augments the Force Siphon ability in the Restoration Staff skill tree. The perfected version adds 877 maximum magic, so casting Force Siphon on a target within 15 meters of you causes a surge of magical energy to tether between you two for 10 seconds. While the tether persists and you remain in range, you and your group members in the tether restore 175 magic and stamina every 1 second. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. I actually like this. This takes a skill that basically no one uses and gives it a pretty good purpose, so this might be a pretty good sustain ability to start using to help your team. Now we are on to the sets that come out of the arena. The first one is the light armor set called Hexsiphon. 2-piece adds 1,096 maximum magic. The 3-piece adds 129 spell damage. The 4-piece adds 833 spell critical. The 5-piece adds 171 spell damage. And then whenever you bash an enemy, you release a cone of hexing energy in front of you. Each enemy hit increases your spell damage by 88 for 8 seconds, up to a maximum of 6 enemies. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. Whenever you successfully interrupt a target, you restore 1000 magic. So if you hit the maximum amount of enemies, you'll be getting 528 spell damage, basically, and that's actually pretty good. It reminds me of the first set we talked about, and I totally forgot the name of it, but it reminds me of that set. They're just trying to integrate bashing into magic builds, I guess. But whenever you successfully interrupt a target, you restore 1000 magic. Honestly, I could see some tanks maybe using this just to have a good sustain of magic. The next set here is called Pestilent Host. It is the medium armor set. 2-piece adds 1487 physical penetration. 3-piece adds 1000 maximum stamina. The 5-piece adds 129 weapon damage. The other 5-piece adds 1487 physical penetration, and whenever you kill an enemy afflicted with a poison effect, their corpse releases a writhing mass of Fletcher flies, which seek out the nearest enemy within 12 meters, causing them to bleed for 31,000 physical damage over 10 seconds. Holy crap. So that is a ton of damage, but you have to remember that you have to kill an enemy to get all that damage to happen. But honestly, my god, that 31,000 physical damage. Whew. The next set is called Explosive Rebuke. Heavy armor set. 2-piece adds 1096 maximum stamina. 3-piece adds 1206 maximum health. The 4-piece adds 129 weapon and spell damage. The 5-piece, whenever you successfully block, you place a bomb on the enemy for 10 seconds. When they are hit with a fully charged heavy attack, the bomb detonates for 13,000 flame damage. And hits to all enemies within 8 meters. I think this is dumb. I don't see the point. When you're blocking, you're going to place this bomb, then you got to seek this person out and do a heavy attack on them just for them to explode. Is this a magic set? Is this a stamina set? It gives you max stamina, but it does flame damage, so it's going to be scaling off your maximum magic. I think this set has potential, but is pretty dumb just in execution. And finally, we are at the end of the video. We're going to be talking about the 2 new mythic items split into 5 fragments each. First one is called the Ring of the Pale Order. Restore 15% of the damage you deal as health, but you cannot be healed by any other player. I feel like this would make soloing pretty fun, but if we're being totally honest, it seems cool, but I don't think it's going to be having a place in, Trials, or even Cyrodiil for that matter. Because you got to be putting out some crazy damage if you're going to be healing yourself just by yourself and not taking in any other healing. And there's just better sets out there. The other mythic item is called Pearls of Elenfey. Maybe I got that right. Whenever you cast a healing ability while your dominant resource is under 30%, you gain 5 ultimates. I've got to say, this one is so specific that if it's going to be this specific, it should give you like 25 ultimate back. 5 ultimate seems incredibly low. Like, if it's going to be this specific, it should definitely be giving you more ultimate back. But it doesn't say it has a cooldown, so it's entirely possible that if you spam an ability while under 30% magic, or stamina or whatever, you could just be feeding yourself 5 ultimate like every second. I don't see that being a thing. I imagine there probably is a cooldown, but if there isn't, that would be pretty cool actually to work with. Alright, there you have it. We got through it. It took forever. But those are all the new sets that are going to be coming out with the Markarth DLC. Probably I believe it's in November it's going to be coming out. The end of October, November is when Markarth comes out. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, give it a like. Tell me what your thoughts are below. And if you like the channel, subscribe to it. And I'll see you in the next one.